So this is what we're doing. To my liberal women who voted for Harris, no more kitty cat for moderate men. These are just Republicans pretending to be moderate because they realize that they can't get laid. No more kitty cat for men who didn't vote, and especially no kitty cat for Republicans. We can't even afford to breathe near these men at this point. Number 2, go to Donald Trump's Instagram page and see which of your friends is following him. Remove those friends and block the men. We are no longer helping influencers and celebrities who support Donald Trump or decided to abstain this election or tried to be apolitical. Not only do you need to unfollow them, but you need to block them. Bye, Alex Earl and Kardashians. If you're a woman who doesn't want children, you need to have your tubal ligation scheduled yesterday. You have 3 months. This isn't a joke. And if you're a young woman who doesn't want to have babies anytime soon, get that birth control implant that lasts for 5 years. Or an IUD. One form of birth control that a man has access to, aka condoms, is basically no birth control. And if you're considering divorcing that man, do it now. You may not have that option. Women already have a hard time leaving their abusers. It's about to get way harder because they're coming after a no-fault divorce. If you are a woman with any financial or hiring power, hire a woman. I don't care if you're hiring someone off of Fiverr to fix your resume. Make it a woman because those women in developing countries need the dollars. We have to uplift each other financially because that's the main thing that they're going to attack. Even reproductive rights is about cutting women off from money because they know that if a woman has her own money, she most likely isn't going to stay with a man. Save, save, save everything that you can because we are about to hit some shaky times, ladies. And if you have access, try to open a foreign bank account. If you think that women suffer at the hands of men now, you have no idea what's coming.
I am only speaking right now to the firstborn daughters and all of you who would consider yourself magical Negroes that have been convinced that you have to rush right this second to fix the issue that is the fact that America has elected a predator once more to the White House. I say firstborn daughters, and I would also include all the fabulous Black women, because you guys are the people who are counted on constantly to save the day, save the world, know where the snacks are, that sort of thing. I need you to sit down and stop because you're going to need this for the next 4 years and beyond. If I have done my job correctly, you are probably experiencing a sense of loss and trauma because a objectively terrible person to run a democracy has been elected. You are already calculating all the ways that things can go wrong for you or people that you love because him and his administration's commitment to unraveling protections across the board, across all sorts of genres of protections, is evident. That threat is real, and that threat has always been real because America is a state that has come out as of only 60 years ago from a strict apartheid-like way of living, where people and their relationship to democracy and the relationship to rights was based on their class, their race, and their gender. It is a historic, amazing feat that Kamala Harris, our vice president, got as far as she did, considering the history of America. Yet this is still very disappointing and for sure has activated a trauma response in you of some kind. It is difficult to see a qualified, empathetic, center, middle of the road person get beat out by an unqualified person who has committed some insurrectionist things against us. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get blocked here. And what you're going to be asked over and over and over again is to bear the lion's share burden of fixing America and saving the world. Black women are constantly called to do this. Women are constantly called to clean up the messes that certain kinds of men have not thought of or accounted for or did account for and decided your body is the thing that needs to take the toll. I am saying to sit down because this is a long game that you have to play. And 2, you have to honor and love your body because this country does not. Dr. Raquel Martin has some fantastic resources on how your parasympathetic system is working in a moment like this and all the different ways that you holding in rage, you holding in anger, you holding in fear and sadness, as you have been taught to do because you've had to be the fixer, you've had to be the woman, you've had to swallow and keep going because we are women on the job and we are women in an unfair world. But that superpower you have of holding it all in, it is not going to help you in the long term here. It's going to prevent your body from relaxing, from being able to get the rest it needs, and from you getting the strength you need to 1, live a life, and 2, protect yourself and the people around you. So when people say, oh, yes, you do need to rest. Oh, yes, you do need to think about Nap Ministry by Tricia Hersey. And you do need to think about Emily Nagoski's Burnout book and think about all the ways you should implement right now for the next couple of years and for the rest of your life, ways for you to reset, enjoy things you love, and be a person. It's serious and it's not for the girl next to you. I am talking to you. You live in a state that has deemed your body in a million different ways historically as less valuable. You have to be the one that values it. And when you continue to tell your body that it is valued, that it is safe with you, it will be able to keep going. It will be able to rest, and you will have this renewed sense of strength to do that for somebody else. My mother, who is older than me, of course, and has seen all sorts of things, reminded me that as a Christian, which many of you know, it is going to be really crucial that I take time to spiritually reset, that I connect to a source that is bigger than me, and that I understand that I am valuable even in a world that tells me I'm not. We are going to have to continually take back from the American power structure, from popular culture, whatever, this sense that they have our worth in their hands, that they have our peace and security in their hands. We have to bring that home to ourselves. You are going to be tempted to think that that is a little thing. I can guarantee you it is not a little thing. There is a reason why white supremacy, racism, and sexism go after the body, because the body matters. You are going to drink your water. You're going to watch your caffeine intake. You are going to take time to be a human being and rest. You're going to wear your Balmain jacket and your Christian Dior earrings and your Antoinette Chanel lipstick, even though she didn't win. There's always a temptation in places like this to go hard on the facts and the logic. Granted, if those things were all that people cared about, we wouldn't be in this situation now, would we? So the deal is that people like me who have changed and evolved and grown over time, we didn't do it necessarily through facts and logic. We did it through love. We did it through people extending to us this measure of love and dignity for our bodies, and us coming and renewing our minds and revealing and realizing we matter, and so do other people. And what that does when you connect to that thing that is so true, no matter what policies come, no matter what people come, no matter what, you will find the reserve out of a place of love and hope to keep going, and not just from a place of being intellectually right. Intellect is not going to win this thing for us. When I left some of the worst parts of my initial, very warped religion to come into this place of safety and peace and hope that I have today, it wasn't because I knew exactly what I was against. And it wasn't because I stayed in this place of disappointment in the ways I had been failed. It was because I had a crystal clear vision of what I was for and who I cared about and who I loved. That included myself now and my neighbor. I'm going to ask you that, and I'm going to tell you that it's going to be so important that you get very clear on what you love. And I hope and I pray that that also includes you. It is not silly to love Taylor Swift in times like this. It is not silly to take a nap. It is not silly to take your medicine and drink your water. It is not silly to do any of those things. Everything together, all of this balance is how you can live a life of purpose and intention that allows mercy and justice to flow through you, and for you to have or be part of the change in working towards a better future. But it's not going to happen by doing the typical big sister thing that we do, which is run hard until we drop. There are too many people abroad and at home at stake. There's too much at stake for you. There's too much at stake for your neighborhood. You can't burn out. You can't also decide to give the worst parts of America, the worst ideas of America, the joy of your life. Don't do it. We're not machines. We're humans. We're going to love like it. We're going to take care of each other like it. And we're going to rest like it. And as I've said from the beginning, you matter. But also, I love you. Whoever you are, wherever you are so deeply, utterly loved. And I hope that God gives me the grace over the next year to make that evident and clear to you, and that we create something over these next 4 years that is beautiful out of all of this. Take care.
Are we having fun yet? I have a message for the ladies. You need to use this Trump victory to make yourselves rich, to make your families rich, to grow your business and your career like you have never done before, so that you can attain so much power and leverage the energy. And let me explain to you why. The reason why I said that Kamala was going to take the White House in my previous TikTok was, well, A, because I wanted her to win, and B, because the energy of women rising is absolutely true. And you know what? A Trump victory does not change that. In fact, it actually makes it so much stronger. I feel that energy, that fire, so much stronger now than I did yesterday. And this is a good thing. And the element of period 9, which is the next 20 years, is the element of fire, and the energy supports women. So ladies, I'm going to ask you, how are you going to use this fire energy, this rage, this, what are you going to do with it? And let's talk the rules of manifestation here, which are all in your favor. I know that many of us were attached to a certain person winning, and we allowed that attachment to dictate our manifestation. Like if Harris won, that means that my manifestation of women having rights and all of this stuff will come true. And because she did not win, we're saying that, oh, that means our manifestation will not come true. When in fact, I want to remind you that the moment you claim a certain reality, what the universe does automatically is it tests you. It brings up things that will bring out a weak part of your energy system, a weak part of your thinking, basically the weak link that's keeping you from becoming that strong, embodied, sovereign person who is able to receive the reality and the manifestation that you want. So let me say that again. Do not be attached to something in your external that basically that talks you out of the outcome that you want. The thing that you wanted to manifest, the reality that you wanted to manifest, it is now even more potent than before, depending on who you are as time goes by, depending on who you are in this journey of Trump being president. Are you going to use it to strengthen yourself and to enrich yourself? Because the Republicans won on this platform of good for the economy, good for the economy, good for capitalism, right? And if they are good to their word, then you know what? The floodgates are going to open for you growing your business, for you growing your money. And because you're already grounded in your values, you're going to grow and your values are going to grow. And I promise you this, you are going to see your manifestation happen much quicker now if you utilize the fire energy, and if you're able to get over and heal this wounded part of you that is still crying and is dipping into victimization mode. Because the bigger picture here is that is what's being healed for us as a collective. The wounds of being victimized, the wounds of, oh, I see perpetrators win, and this just means that little old me, I'm going to have to suffer forever. No, those wounds are coming up in order for you to heal. And once you heal them, you're going to see that, oh, this is all a game. And this is my time to be in my highest power, in my greatest strength. And that is absolutely what I stand for. That is something that I feel purely with full conviction, unshakable conviction. And for those of you who are joining my classes, I'm doing Sovereign Activation tomorrow. I'm doing Radical Manifestation next week, and I'll be doing the Fire Era in January. And all the content that I push out, it's coming from this fully aligned energy. Because here's the thing, women are made to win this year, but you still have to select it, and you have to use the energies that are given to you to your advantage. And boy, are you going to see me doing this, and I hope you do this too, because ladies, let me remind you, your communities cannot thrive until you thrive. Your families cannot thrive until you thrive. And so the most important thing for you to do right now is thrive and to get fucking rich.
Here's what I want you to pay attention to. All of the men who have been pandering to women in order to get clout or order to make money off of women's viewership and attention online, look and see if they're saying anything right now. Because I did, and they're not. Enough is enough. It's 4B across the fucking board. We are done. We need to unify as women, and we need to isolate anyone who is not for us. Get your money. At the end of the day, it's easier to envision the end of the world than it is to envision the end of capitalism. This is the system we live in, and now we live in a completely conservative majority, House, Senate, Supreme Court, and presidency. Okay? That is the way it is. So if you think you're going to retaliate against the system by opting out of capitalism, that's not the way that's going to go down. You secure resources for yourself by any means fucking necessary. We need to obtain the power in this system. Enough. How does that not make sense? The world with women in power is going to look very different from what we've experienced throughout all of human history, essentially. Enough with the pontifications of these fucking theories and ideas. Get power as women and as minorities. Get power however the fuck you can. 4B across the board. Stop giving even a morsel of your energy, time, or attention to men who are not greatly benefiting you in your life. In better case scenario, don't give them anything at all. We are done. Stop consuming male content creators' content, especially the ones that are silent right now. Stop dating men. Stop having sex with men. And any male friendship you have who is not being vocal right now or hasn't been vocal in the last 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or ever, cut them the fuck off. Buy this book. It's called The Scum Manifesto. Live by this book. We are not going to eradicate the money system anytime soon. Use it to your benefit. Get power and get money. And for anyone who has misconstrued my messaging, saying that I pander to rich men or I'm just pining to get to the side of rich men, that is not the way. That's not been my message. That has never been my message. Use rich men to your advantage. And that's the only time you should ever be entertaining men is if you are extrapolating resources from them. Otherwise, they are not worth your time. That is what the fuck I've always fucking said. Okay? If you are still entertaining men, situationships, a hookup culture, you are pandering to the red pill men who just voted that man into office. It is that serious, and it should repulse you. Enough is enough. We're fucking over it. And in any case, don't get married, do not have children. Don't get married, do not have children. Unfortunately, that is the reality that we live in. Do not get married. For the love of God, don't fucking get married. Make your own money, have your own career, have your own resources, have your own community. Do not get married, do not have children.
Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. I pressed record not even knowing what I'm going to say or really having much to say at all. I did make a previous video and I said a lot about how I felt about Obama when he got elected and how I personally felt about if Vice President Harris were to get elected in a previous video, so go check out that video. This situation has really sobered me up to realize that playtime is over. The world is actually dangerous. There are people out here that want to take away your reproductive rights, control you, put you in a box, and constrict every degree of freedom that you have access to so that they can continue to amass power for themselves. That is the dark reality of the world and something that we have to continuously navigate through just by existing. And it's so disheartening and it's so demoralizing, but that's not good enough for us to marinate in those emotions, because we have to gain economic resources, we have to gain financial and fiscal upper hand in this society. It's the only way for us to have any kind of power, access, influence, and control over the determination of our own future and freedom for our progeny and for our offspring. At this point, that's all it boils down to, because we are hated. We are hated. We are hated. We are hated. And it's so, like, playtime is over. This is not the playground. This is not the sandbox. This is not the swings and the slides anymore. This is like life and death. So please subscribe to the channel. We're going to get our money up together. We're going to be in this together. We're going to start communities. We're going to do retreats. We're going to collaborate. We're going to communicate in so many different ways. We're going to host events. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure that these videos stay in your algorithm so that you don't miss out on new videos. We're all going to get our money up together, support each other, lean on each other so that we can actually build something for ourselves that no one can mess with. Thanks for tuning into this video. I love you all. Stay strong out there and